Time at the
Let's hear from the officials for tonight's match. Tonight's referee is Corbin May. The assistant referees are Cameron Seidler and Benjamin Davis. The fourth official tonight is Osvaldo Delgado. And fans, here's the starting lineup for visiting Louisville City FC.
It's East versus West here tonight. For the first time at the Lab as New Mexico United hosts Louisville City FC. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Week 30 of USL Championship action is upon us. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst. To our right, we have our Spanish language broadcast team, Manny Esquivel and David Estrada. ¿Cómo estás, hermanos?
Gracias, compañeros. David, hoy es la última oportunidad para New Mexico United de poder decir, seguimos vivos en la temporada, a menos de que tú coincidas con otra cosa.
No, es ganar o ganar porque esta temporada sí se está terminando y tenemos que los 3 puntos esta noche.
Un juego bastante interesante donde United tendrá que ser ofensivo y buscar los 3 puntos, obviamente.
Now, Chris, this one coming in, the two sides going in opposite directions. Louisville City alternating wins and losses over their last 5 matches. New Mexico United with just 1 win in their last 5. They currently sit 11th place in the Western Conference. They need a win here tonight.
Yeah, it really is. You got to say it's probably do or die right now for New Mexico United. Mathematically, it might not be done tonight, but they have to take care of business tonight. A win is a must, and then see how the chips fall, and maybe all eyes turn to Oakland, who are playing SAFC tonight, or Monterrey at San Diego, but they have to take care of business themselves. Blue City, it's just another September night on the road. They've spent the whole of September bar 1 game on the road, 2 wins, 2 ties, not a bad record to be fair, but they'll be looking forward to maybe seeing the back of this. Tied currently on points with Memphis. And New Mexico United, in a weird twist of fate, the next visitor to the lab is obviously Memphis. So regardless of their own fate within the playoffs, Blue City's still looking for that home berth and behind Memphis on goal differential right now. So New Mexico United have got a big say in their own future and on what goes on in the East as well.
Yeah, Louisville City, they come in ticket punched to the postseason, 9 straight trips to the playoffs for Louisville City FC. Let's dive deeper into this matchup tonight with our players to watch, presented by Toyota. Go ahead and take it away, guys.
Así es, vamos a hablar primeramente del equipo visitante, David. Hoy hablemos de Paolo del Piccolo, este jugador que salió de la escuela de Rush de Colorado y que no solamente es una pieza fundamental, te puede jugar en el medio sector de la cancha, puede abrirse muy bien a los ambos sectores del terreno de juego. Y bueno, es un jugador determinante en la parte de abajo del equipo de visita que el del día de hoy. Pero háblanos también por parte de New Mexico United, ¿quién tenemos que seguir el día de hoy?
El que tiene que parar los delanteros, Kalen Wright en el central, tiene que ser fuerte esta noche. Este equipo es un histórico en términos de playoffs, como yo había mencionado, Tyler, cada año ha calificado, pero nosotros ocupamos los 3 puntos, muy importante esta victoria esta noche. No importa los otros resultados, lo que importa son los 3 puntos esta noche.
Así es, serán 3 puntos mágicos para United porque los podrán meter de nuevo a una pelea por la clasificación de los playoffs.
Gracias, hermanos. This one's going to be a lot of fun tonight. The 2023 New Mexico United season is presented by Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary. We'll be back on the other side of this with lineups and kickoff.
So much has changed in the 5 years since New Mexico United took the pitch for the first time in 2019. But since then, one constant has been the incredible support and financial guidance of REDW. Our partnership has grown stronger and closer together as the club continues to excite, inspire, and help connect the people of New Mexico. REDW will be with us every step of the way. Everything we do on the pitch and in the community is powered by the strategic thinking and expertise of the advisors at REDW. With an eye on longevity, shared values, and purpose, United and REDW will continue to team up and make meaningful contributions for all New Mexicans. Somos Unidos.
I landed my first trick at age 11. It's always been a family thing. Just the 3 of us, out skating the city. Albuquerque has heart. It lifted me up, all the way to my dream of skating in the Olympics.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
It's Indigenous Peoples Night here at the Lab. Tonight's match brought to you by Hinkle Law Offices, your personal injury attorneys for over 30 years. Let's have a look at our starting lineups presented by Bud Light. For Eric Quill here, 4 changes from the side that took on Riverhounds. We see Josh Suggs, Harry Swartz, Armando Moreno, and Schneider Borgelin coming in for the black and yellow. On the other side, for Louisville City FC, Danny Cruz making 2 changes to his side. Paolo DiPiccolo getting the start alongside Jorge Hernandez as they're replacing Tyler Gibson and Elijah Winder. Louisville City FC in their road whites, New Mexico in their home black and yellow Meow Wolf strips. And this one, Chris, huge 3 points here on the line for New Mexico United.
Yeah, it is. It's a huge night, specifically in New Mexico United's season, right? Like 3 games to go. I can't believe it's already the end of the season. It seems like it's gone over so quickly. But yeah, and you know, Lou City's still obviously fighting for something as well. So it's not like they're just going to roll over. The security of clinching the place like they did after the win last week against Loudoun gives them that little safety blanket. But New Mexico United, it really is desperation stages.
For Eric Quill and his men, they come in sitting 11th place in the West, as we showed you during the pregame. And at home, they've captured 24 out of a possible 45 points, picking up 7 wins, 5 losses, 3 draws along the way so far. 2 out of their last 3 will be here at the Lab. Memphis coming to town on the final match day of the season for the black and yellow. That going down on Friday, October 13th. Dio plays this one over to Astorga. The El Paso native made his way through the U23 pipeline into the first team. The first player to do so here in black and yellow. So the center back pairing of Kalen Ryden, Will Seymour. That ball poked away. Be a throw in here for New Mexico. Schneider Borgelin is on loan from Inter Miami. Came over shortly after Leo Messi was signed, and all of a sudden all of his friends started coming over to Inter Miami, and then there wasn't any room left for Schneider Borgelin, so he's been here in New Mexico tonight, making his 9th appearance in black and yellow, his 7th start, yet to find the back of the goal.
I'd say the last home game against Indy 11, he showed some flashes again where he had a couple of chances, but he very much looked like a forward that was out of form. And you know, with numbers like that, he really does need to. You know, it's a case of everyone talks about it. Those forwards who go through those patches, it happens. And can he get one that just goes in off his backside or something like that, and that'll get him going. But these last 3 games really need New Mexico really need all their players firing on all cylinders, and Borgelin is one of those guys and needs to lead the line. And obviously he has a lot more to his game than just scoring goals as well. He does lead the line. He's very physical, obviously a big guy as well, so holds the ball up. So Moreno, expect him to be buzzing around underneath him as well. And Harry Schwartz looks like he's playing pretty high up. Zico Bailey playing more central as well. It's an interesting selection from Coach Quill tonight.
Eric Quill taking over this New Mexico side in late June. Of course, having replaced Zach Prince, who made his way over to New York Red Bulls of MLS, joined the coaching staff of Troy Lesane, who is the first head coach and technical director here at New Mexico United. Zach Prince, an assistant coach under Lesane from 2019 up until the end of last season, a couple seasons ago, and then taking over himself. Zemla has to get this one out. It's Harris, leading scorer for this Lou City side. Ownby now. Running it down, it's Sharpie. First visit to the Lab for Louisville City. All-time series between these two. 1 win in favor of Lou City, and that's it. Played it back on October 3rd, 2021, a couple seasons ago, that going down over at Lynn Family Stadium It was an ESPN2 match on a Sunday afternoon as Seymour tries to deal with the pressure. Somewhat unsuccessful. This is Gonzalez. He plays it back. And trying to enter in there for Harris.
Yeah, you can see that ball over the top there, just trying to stretch Seymour and ride in a little bit. And Harris just gives a little nudge in Seymour's back, just as he's trying to control the ball with his chest. Just knocks him off balance a little bit, made it a little more uncomfortable than maybe he wanted to.
So 5 minutes gone by here. Harry Swartz, he's missed the last few matches. Hasn't played since earlier in September. Last time he was on the field, September 2nd, here against Charleston. That is Eric Quill. It's our PNM Coaches Spotlight. As we mentioned, the third head coach in club history. And Chris, he's really got his fingerprints all over this squad, signing 7 players over the last 3 months.
Yeah, he has, and it's hard coming in mid-season, right? And, you know, obviously having to use the players that are already here, and it was an interesting tackle by Keelan right in there, had to get that one right. But yeah, having to use the players that were already here, and they were struggling. They were struggling when he came in the building, and Zach Prince left to New York Red Bulls, right? But he has, like, Nicky Hernandez, like, seeing him on the bench today, he's been a really welcome addition, I'd say, that all the New Mexico United fans have taken to, just his energy and his tenacity that he brings to the pitch. So I would not be surprised if you see him entering the fray around the 60th minute or so, depending on how the game's going. But yeah, no, he has, and like I say, Zico Bailey's been a really, really good addition as well.
Second half of our PNM Coaches Spotlight, that is Danny Cruz, the former Real Monarchs assistant coach, 3rd season in charge of Lou City. It's his side sitting in 5th place coming into today. 14 wins on the season, 10 losses, 7 draws. It's good enough if you're adding it up for 49 points. Far off from where they were last season, Chris, when they finished 1st in the Eastern Conference. They made it all the way to the USL Cup final. Eventually fell at San Antonio FC 3-1. But this is a club, when you think of excellence in the USL Championship, you think of Louisville City.
I mean, it's consistency. They are consistently at the right end of the table, challenging, and you know, that's something that New Mexico United are obviously hoping to achieve at some point. And they haven't managed to do that. See, it's a tough ask. It's a tough ask for New Mexico United to make the playoffs at this point. But looking at them, you know, on 38 points, just the Eastern Conference is a little more settled. The West is still very much the Wild West. You know, New Mexico's sitting on the same amount of points as Miami, who are occupying that last spot in the Eastern Conference for the playoffs as well. So, but you know, the teams at the top really are the cream on the East Coast.
Seymour steps out to block that shot, and the follow-up shot from Mogel finds the waiting arms of Andrew Thomas. Borgelin just loses his footing there. We've got time for this 529 game update brought to you by the Education Plan, New Mexico State-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com. Miscommunication there, and this will be a throw in here for New Mexico. Storga has been getting a run here in the side lately. Here's Portillo. Portillo, he's scored penalty kicks in 2 out of the last 3 matches, Chris, and why that's so significant. New Mexico had only converted 1 penalty, only been given 1 penalty all season long up until that point. It was in their very first match of the season, a 1-0 win on the road at the Miami FC, where Portillo converted from the spot. But you go all season long without getting them, and then you find yourself at this spot 2 out of the last 3.
You know what to say about that, right, Tyler? It's like London buses. Wait all day for one, and then 3 turn up at once.
Borgelin able to get on the end of this one. Plays it out to Swartz. Harry Swartz, the Massachusetts native. This one goes in looking for Rivas at the back post. Falls to Rivas. Rivas able to connect with the left foot, but sends it wide.
That was a decent little opportunity there, a little confusion at the back for Lou City, and just getting Harry Swartz nice and high in the game, and it was just the sheer presence of Borgelin just caused a little dismay in the 18-yard box there.
This ball given away. Here's Moreno. Moreno runs into a brick wall there and gives it away.
Yeah, he just couldn't quite work out what he wanted to do. He didn't know if he wanted to go onto his left foot there or cut back on his right, and really well defended in the end. But again, a little unsure at the back, it looks like Lou City maybe, and obviously trying to play out from the back and played themselves into a little bit of trouble there.
This is Kyle Adams, former San Diego Loyal man. It's not his first rodeo at the lab. Here's Harris looking to get on the end of that through ball.
See Harris just hanging on the shoulders of the two centre-backs for New Mexico United. Are going to have to be very wary of the space behind them and make sure that they don't let him get in behind there, because that's the second or third time already tonight that they've looked to spring him in behind.
10 minutes gone by here tonight. Amore Neapolitan Pizzeria says thank you for 10 amazing years as New Mexico's first and only certified pizzerias. Here's Josh Suggs, the Las Cruces, New Mexico native. Suggs among the top in the league when it comes to minutes played in his career. In the top 5 is Suggs. There's Tosh. This Lou City side playing here tonight in a beautiful Albuquerque, New Mexico, far from the conditions that they endured last week up at Segra Field, as they came away with a 2-1 late dramatic win against Loudoun. To the dismay of the home crowd here, it's going to be a throw-in for Lou City.
Coach Quill clearly not happy with that one either, but yeah, New Mexico, I tell you what, just looking at the flags, the wind has died down significantly. It was miserable an hour, 2 hours ago. Obviously out at the soccer complex all day today and driving over here as well. It's just been a brutal day with 30, 40 mile an hour winds. So I'm sure Lou City, when they came into town, were like, again, more challenging conditions. But yeah, it does look like, this gust here and there, but it does look like it's calmed down significantly.
This is Kalen Ryden, Norman, Oklahoma native. 105 USL Championship appearances for the Black and Yellow under his belt. Tonight is number 106 as Rivas looking to connect with Harry Swartz there. Just a miscommunication between the two. Seymour doing his best to hold off Harris, and reckon that's not the first time we're going to see that from Will Seymour tonight.
I've lost count how many times this season we said the Seymour special.
And between Will Seymour and Daniel Bruce, those two, you might have a trademark on that move.
It's so frustrating as a coach though, because clearly Seymour was going nowhere, and it's a get out of jail free card as well when you tell people just don't fall for it, don't bite on it, and it's just so tempting as an attacking player to just try and poke the ball away, and any little slight contact and the defenders just go down right away, feel that contact in the back and go down, and can't blame them.
Speaking of, that was Harris feeling the contact in his back and going down and winning the Fiesta Auto free kick. So just 3 matches left in this regular season for New Mexico, Chris. Tonight, next weekend on the road at Phoenix Rising. It's going to be the first trip out to 38th and Washington for the Black and Yellow. at the new home site of Phoenix Rising's home stadium. And then back here, as we mentioned earlier, hosting Memphis on the final match day of the regular season, as Ownby sends this one over the crossbar. So 15 minutes gone by here at the lab. Tyler Ortega, Chris Hurst on hand. We've got a moment. We can tell you a little bit about Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Drawing the foul there, Justin Portillo. Gonzalez getting involved. Spaniard, 24-year-old Jorge Gonzalez, been with Lou City the last 3 seasons. 9 goals over those 3 seasons. This one goes back to Thomas. Thomas on loan in from Tacoma Defiance following the hand injury to Alex Tambakis. This has been the longest season, Chris, if you think about it.
No, it is when you think about it. Like I say, it is, but it also feels like it's flown by as well. But yeah, there's been so much that's gone on, both positive and negative, right?
Sure.
You know, obviously there's been some positive news this week as well, you know, regarding the stadium and things like that moving forward, which is obviously huge news for not just New Mexico United, but the community as well. And yeah, but there's the injuries, the coaching changes. It's just been, yeah, like you say, it's been a really weird, and just on the field there was that huge homestand that New Mexico United had that they just weren't able to take advantage of. And if things don't go right for them this season, I think they'll look back to that period and that'll be where they pinpoint and say they maybe didn't take advantage in those moments.
Zemla has to come out to grab that one, and he does. His first season here at Lou City. 29 appearances for the 25-year-old. Score update. Switchbacks. RGV tied at 0, 52 minutes in. Wouldn't be looking for the through ball there. Suggs dueling with Ownby. And it's going to be played out there by Tosh.
Yeah, look, it's human nature to look at those other results, right? I mean, I think switchbacks, Orange County and above in the West, out of reach for New Mexico United, obviously. And then there's that little break, 47 points to 41, which is down to Oakland Roots. Oakland Roots and Monterey Bay. If there's the slightest chance, those are the 2 teams that, and it's not just New Mexico United, El Paso Locomotive, Rio RGV as well, trying to reel those 2 teams in as well. And it's funny, Orange County have got themselves above the line and started stuttering maybe a little bit. No win in the last 3 games, but they went on an absolute tear, and that's the kind of form that New Mexico United need to bring for these last 3 games. You've got to feel it has to be 3 wins.
Yeah, absolutely. And it has to start here tonight. We've been saying that for probably the better part of a couple weeks now for New Mexico. But with just 3 matches left in the season, is almost do or die time. And here's Astorga. Astorga fighting for a place in the side next season. A handful of appearances since coming up from the U23s. Tonight is 4th. Of El Paso. Moreno able to connect with Rivas. Chips this forward for Suggs, and the veteran Josh Suggs unable to keep that in play. That's going to give us time here for our Garcia Automotive Group keys to the game for New Mexico. Get the first goal this time. Don't let Brian Ownby create. And as we just mentioned, you must secure all 3 points. Jimenez finds Mogel. Sharpie as that one blocked, but Moreno looks to be a little shaken up after the deflection. Moreno back up to his feet. Ownby looking to chip this forward to the back post, and it's going to go out for a goal kick. And now I'll go ahead and explain what's going on, because I know we've got probably a lot of first-time viewers, being that this is the first time these two have played here at the Lab. This is a tradition called the Magic Minute. This happens during every New Mexico United match. It starts at the 19-minute, 12-second mark, and that is to signify 1912, when New Mexico was recognized as a state officially, and it'll end at the 20-minute, 19-second mark. That to mark the year that New Mexico United first kicked a ball. It was an idea brought forth by the first head coach and technical director in club history, Troy Lesane, and it's something that has been going on here at the Lab since 2019, and it's actually made its way to away matches when the black and yellow have a traveling contingent of fans. So they were not cheering the hustle there from Moreno. Just a good old classic case of the Magic Minute.
It doesn't happen very often, but it is always a little awkward when it happens in some bad moments as well. But Moreno there holding his head down injured, and then the Magic Minute comes. But obviously the New Mexico United players are used to it. But just looking at those keys to the game, Ownby, he's finding a lot of the ball, and you can see he's the guy who's trying to pull the strings, and he's not. Normally you'd think someone who's pulling the strings would be the six, the defensive mid, the holding mid, just sitting in front of the back four, but he's a lot higher, and he just finds the ball. He's allowed to drift into different spaces, and as soon as he gets faced up, he's just looking to spring Harris at every opportunity if he can.
60th minute update. Switchbacks, RGV still tied 0-0. Monterey Bay, San Diego will be kicking off here in about half an hour or so. As the second half goes on, we'll be keeping an eye on that, keeping you up to date.
That was the first time New Mexico United had managed to string together 5-6 passes. They've really struggled to get any kind of rhythm, and I would say that's probably what they're looking to do right now. Just spend some time on the ball, get their foot on the ball, work Lou City around, try and pull them out of their shape. You can see right now they've just settled into a back five. It's three at the back, but the two wide guys have really dropped deep right now, and it's going to be a hard line to break down. That's something that Lou City have done a decent job of this year, with so many clean sheets on the season, 12 already this season.
What a touch there from Ownby. So Lou City looking to get forward. It's going to be a throw in here for New Mexico. Fans, don't miss a minute of the action in 2023. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN Plus, the home to the USL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Del Piccolo finds Sharpie, back to Del Piccolo. Del Piccolo, he was on this score sheet twice. The last time these two sides met, he scored in the 7th and 14th minutes to put Lou City on top back in 2021. It ended up being a 3-1 victory for the hosts. Moreno found the back of the net in first half stoppage, and then McLaughlin tacked on the final goal for Lou City in the 75th minute. Here's Rivas. Sergio Rivas, 11 goal involvements this season, Chris. 7 goals scored, 4 assists, he's been one of the main driving forces for this New Mexico United side.
Yes, he's been amazing this year. Like, that's not an over-exaggeration either, right? Like, and obviously from Albuquerque as well. You know, grew up here, and I know it's such a cliche, but gets it. You know, gets what really gets the crowd going, what the fans want, and just the hard work and the effort that he puts in all the time. It's great to see a local guy playing so well and doing so well for the local club.
Suggs pings this forward for Moreno. That attempt blocked. Bailey for Rivas, and Rivas sends this one well over the bar.
It's probably because we were saying nice things. Let's assume that. Yeah, you know, since Coach Quill's been involved, there's been a noticeable change in the way that New Mexico United play, and kind of tighten things up at the back. I'd say, like the SAFC and Las Vegas are the outliers with 3 goals in there, but other than that, a lot of 1-0s, 2-0s, those kind of games. So I guess the reason why I bring it up is it's not a surprise that this game's really cagey. There's so much riding on it. So the last thing they want to do is let Lou City get a lead and give them something to hang on to here, and get the crowd frustrated and build from there. Really keeping things tight at the back, not necessarily creating a whole lot in the process, but really making sure that they don't find themselves down too early.
Every touch from Sergio Rivas resulting in the foul there on Paolo Di Piccolo, and so it's going to be a Fiesta Auto free kick for Lou City. Sean Tosh, Lou City veteran. Tosh out of Oswego, Illinois. Borgelin is being held there by Kyle Adams. It's a good old-fashioned duel between a couple of guys with some big bodies there.
It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle all evening, you imagine. And I say, Borgelin, while he hasn't found the scoring touch, he's not afraid to put his head and body into places where he might get hurt.
Coach pings this one forward. He's looking for Perez. For Josh Suggs, making his 112th league appearance in black and yellow here this evening. 14 starts on the season, make that 15. Did not play the last 2 matches as New Mexico covering some serious ground last week, Chris. They had a midweek match at Heart Health Park against Sac Republic. Then they found themselves in Pittsburgh taking on the Riverhounds at Highmark on the weekend.
What a brutal schedule that is. Brutal, like Wednesday to Saturday, coast to coast, against top in the West and top in the East. Absolutely unforgiving. And but with those, the way the schedule worked out, it seems like so long ago, but New Mexico United had a really weird schedule at the start of the season with 2 byes. Every team has bye weeks or bye games, and they had 2 in the first 3 weeks. So it almost feels like they've been playing catch-up since week 4. And everyone knew that there was going to be a time where the schedule got really tough, and it just happens that it was August, September. The games have come thick and fast.
New Mexico playing it deep in their own third here. Adams gets it wrong there, and Borgelin now off to the races. He's got support, finds Moreno. Moreno lets it run. Rivas, still Rivas. And it looks like the opportunity there squandered.
And it came from New Mexico United being very, very brave in possession. Like, Kalen Ryden played a pass, 2 yards? 2 yards away from the end line across the goal mouth. And it just drew Lou City out of their shape a little bit because they wanted to press, because they saw an opportunity. And it was a mistake. The mistake at the back there, I believe it was Adams who just miskicked it, and it set Borgelin away, showed a good turn of pace. Great decision to square the ball to Moreno. Moreno so aware of where Rivas was. Lets it go, but it was just a little bit behind Rivas, so the chance kind of escaped him because he had to slow down at that point because it was just a little bit behind him. But that was a decent little break, a decent little counter-attack for New Mexico United, and signs of life.
Signs of life, and also getting Schneider Borgelin involved. We talk about him being here. This is his 9th appearance for the club. 13 shots, 5 on target, in over 560 minutes for the big man. Here's Ryden. Moreno linking up with Rivas here.
You see now New Mexico United really got a foothold in the game now, starting to up the tempo a little bit, enjoying a lot more possession. Compared to Lou City, were pretty much able to play through the lines at will earlier on, and now New Mexico United really starting to ask a couple of questions, not necessarily in the final third, but definitely making the Lou City players work and working without the ball. It's the most unforgiving work as well.
Here's Moreno on the turn. The El Salvadorian Armando Moreno has that shot attempt blocked. There's Tosh coming in to thwart the attempt. Swartz able to connect now with Portillo. It's the New Orleans native, Justin Portillo. 8 goals last season in 34 appearances. 4 goals, 4 assists this season.
Looks like Jimenez has maybe just hurt himself there for Lou City. He went into a heavy tackle with Harry Swartz there, and maybe came off a little worse, maybe a dead leg. Looks like he's holding his quad.
Borgelin turns, and it falls. Swartz, and New Mexico's opened up the scoring. It's Harry Swartz finding the back of the net in his 71st appearance in black and yellow. And look what it means to the Boston native Harry Swartz.
Harry Swartz, whenever he's on the pitch, he looks dangerous. I think originally brought to the club as an outside back, but he's so dangerous in the opposition box there, and it's Borgelin, and it's not the prettiest build-up play. The ball just finds Borgelin, and he kind of bundles it into Harry Swartz's path, and he just absolutely fires a rocket. I think it takes a little deflection on the way through. And you see there, it's not pretty, kind of fortunate, but yeah, just a little deflection there. Jimenez, I think it was Jimenez there, kind of goes through his legs and just catches his trailing foot, and that's what takes it past Zamela in the Lou City goal. Huge goal for New Mexico United though.
Goal number 5 on the season for Harry Swartz. Goals brought to you by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. And so Lou City will look to answer.
And we were just talking about how you could tell New Mexico United were just growing in confidence. There was nerves, maybe it was nerves, or maybe it was just a memo from the coaching staff of don't give anything away in the first 10-15 minutes, but they'd really started to come out of their shell the last 5, 6, 10 minutes maybe. And that goal, again, wasn't the prettiest build-up from Borgelin. No, it was a little, but it was just the work rate, the tenacity in that box to try and make something happen. And you make your own luck in this game, and it falls to the right person if you're New Mexico United, and Harry Swartz gets a decent strike on it. And it's an unfortunate deflection for Zemla, but New Mexico United won't care.
And for New Mexico, when they play here at home and they score the opening goal, that's usually a really good sign for them. They've picked up 6 of their 7 wins here at the Lab when scoring the opener. And so Lou City with a mountain to climb here, just 34 minutes in. And looking to answer quickly. Here's Harris, plays this one in, and Thomas comes out to grab it.
It's a big 5 minutes here, the most dangerous time. It's another cliche that I'll drop for you tonight, Tyler. With biggest cliche in sports is 5 minutes. The big 5 minutes after you score it's huge. And I think it was the Indy 11 game. There was 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes, a minute 46, something like that. So it's really important for New Mexico United to continue doing what they've been doing for the last, again, 5-10 minutes or so. And just, you can see there, they're just pretty comfortable in possession. pulling Lou City around a little bit and waiting for their moment to try and spring an attack.
Yeah, you almost feel like there's at least one more in this game before the 45-minute mark. For who, we'll see. This one drops to Moreno. He's got support arriving. Swartz on a brace. Has that one poked away by Tosh at just the last moment.
And Armando Moreno finding a lot more of the ball, and good things tend to happen for New Mexico United when Armando Moreno's involved in the game. Same as Sergio Rivas, but Moreno right now just drifting in off that left-hand side, and he's getting a lot of it right now.
Corner kick coming up here for New Mexico. Corner kicks brought to you by Bank of America. With over 4,600 locations, convenient banking is just around the corner. So it's Portillo and Rivas. Portillo will send this one in. Falls Astorga. That's deflected. Back post, Moreno. The offside flag goes up.
Tell you what, Astorga, he got every bit of that as well. That shot was flying. It just came out, and it's one of those where, as a coach, you always tell someone to hang outside the 18-yard box, to stop any kind of counter-attack. And I know I tell my players all the time, hit it. It either hits the parking lot or it hits the back of the net. And there, he absolutely caught that sweet as well. And I think the Lou City defender, I couldn't see who it was, but he might be feeling that one.
Astorga searching for his first professional goal tonight on his 4th appearance. We mentioned New Mexico here at home when scoring the opener. Lou City on the flip side, 1 win, 1 draw, 4 losses when they concede the opening goal away from home this season. Bank of America corner kick coming up here for the visitors.
That's an unforced error there. I'm not sure why a 45, 50-yard square pass across the 18-yard box, especially on a set piece, right after you've scored and got your noses in front. I'm sure the coaching staff in New Mexico are not happy about that decision there.
It's the 20-year-old Carlos Moguel Jr. It's his 3rd season with Lou City. '21st appearance of the season tonight. Played a full 90 last weekend out in the rain at Segra. Perez eventually loses possession. New Mexico now looking to counter. Here goes the goal scorer, Harry Swartz. Moreno overlapping. Moreno able to win the throw-in.
And that was Astorga as well, who, his unfortunate touch from that crossfield pass gave away the corner. He's the one who wins the first header, making good on his mistake, and that's all you can ask for as a coach, is when players make mistakes, they're the ones that try and fix them as well, and straight out to try and put pressure. So really good reaction by the New Mexico United defender there.
Sharpie boots that one away in front of Schneider Borgelin. Borgelin picked up the assist there on the Harry Swartz goal. For Borgelin, that is his first assist for New Mexico United. And we saw it earlier where he got involved a little bit in the play, and it's good to see big man getting some touches, some meaningful touches, especially in the box. Here's Bailey. He's looking to link up with Moreno there, making the run into the 18.
Great little entry pass by Sergio Rivas into the path of Zico Bailey as well. Those, you mentioned Moreno getting more and more involved. Sergio Rivas starting to pull the strings in midfield, just alongside Justin Portillo for New Mexico United as well.
Here's Astorga to wiggle out of some trouble there, and looking for the run of Rivas. It's headed away. Ownby now turns, looking to counter, and Harris He's probably going to be a little bit upset as Will Seymour lost his footing.
Yeah, Will Seymour blew a tire there and just ended up on the deck, but luckily for New Mexico United, Ownby didn't see it and wasn't able to thread the pass through and decided to go negative instead. But that was an opportunity there if it had been spotted.
Chris, you mentioned earlier in the broadcast there was some news about a New Mexico United stadium. We'll get to that in just a moment as this one runs. Moguel has it taken off his feet by Amando Moreno. But yeah, a story coming out from multiple local news outlets that the city of Albuquerque announcing plans that they're intending to lease 7 acres of land to New Mexico United over at Balloon Fiesta Park for a multi-purpose stadium. Of course, that would be a soccer-specific stadium. And, you know, I think if you were to ask New Mexico United fans, as this one finds Moreno, offside flag is up on the El Salvadorian. So we'll pump the brakes on the celebration here. But if you're to ask any fans of New Mexico United, I don't think they care where it's built. I think they're just excited that it's on the way.
Yeah, exactly. It was. I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but yeah, like great timing in terms of announcement, because who knows, you know, the season's been a bit disappointing. You know, if New Mexico United go on an unbelievable run here, as we're just seeing that disallowed goal back there. Great finish by Moreno, by the way. But it's long overdue, and it's something that I know lots of New Mexico United fans and just fans of soccer in general, they want soccer teams to play in soccer-specific stadiums.
An opportunity here and a save for Andrew Thomas. That was Gonzalez getting through. Looking for the equalizer, Lou City still. Borgelin and Tosh both went for that. There's Del Piccolo. Harris, leading goal scorer for Lou City. Next time he finds the back of the net, he'll hit the double-digit mark.
That was a great tackle by Will Seymour there. No nonsense whatsoever. Looks like maybe he left one on Harris a little bit as well, but fully committed tackle. I hope Harris is okay, but it was a great tackle. Really well timed and had to be.
Harris. Hope he's okay. Wilson Harris out of LA. Previously spent time at Sporting KC. Got an update there for you. Switchbacks taking the lead over RGV, and then Birmingham Legion with a 2-1 lead currently over Memphis 901.
That one has repercussions for Lou City as well. I'd say tied with them on points right now. It's just goal difference is the difference between Memphis and Lou City, but obviously Memphis losing, City lose here as well, then it's as you were.
Harris, he scored in second half stoppage time last weekend to win it for Lou City. Loudon had scored off a corner early on into the match. I think it was about 15 minutes in the pouring rain. Then Dylan Maris came on as a sub, really changed the game for Lou City, scoring in the 74th minute. Then Harris scoring in second half stoppage. Lou City walking out with all 3 points. .43 minutes gone by here. Perez able to get into the box. And played out by Astorga. Astorga, the second number 15 in New Mexico United history. After, well, let's see, you gave me a puzzling look there, Chris. Let's see if you can answer who is the first and only.
I'm not that much of a stato, sorry.
Rashid Tete.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, the Canadian center back. Now playing his trade out at FC Tulsa. Borgelin fouled there, and so it'll be a Fiesta Auto free kick. Borgelin looking to get around the defender, and Borgelin called for the foul. Great crowd on hand here tonight. Expecting somewhere around 10,500 for Indigenous Peoples Night. Really cool thing to see. There's for those that may not know, a lot of native tribes and a lot of pueblos here in New Mexico, and a lot of them being represented here at the match tonight. So you see the New Mexico United coaching staff making sure that the free kick is taken from the correct space.
Notice they haven't. They've kept the covered benches put away tonight just because of how windy it's been. I know in the past we've had some issues with those blown over, and that's certainly not what we want with players in and around that as well. So it looks like they've gone for the safe option and just kept them away, because it's been a very, very windy day here.
1 minute of New Mexico Piñon coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. So as we stand here, first half stoppage, New Mexico 1-0 lead. Adams gets it back from Mogel. Kept alive there by Gonzalez. Thomas eventually able to grab that. It was Del Piccolo getting forward, making the run.
Yeah, and it was really well done by Seymour there. Just saw the run of Del Piccolo, and it's so hard to pick those runs up from deep from midfield for Del Piccolo there. And Seymour just using his experience and just shielding them, allowing Thomas the time to come out and collect the ball there.
Thomas in no rush to send this one away as the stroke of halftime is here. That's the end of the first half. It's New Mexico 1, Louisville City 0. First halftime score presented by First Financial Credit Union. Chris, your thoughts there on the first 45?
Yeah, I mean, it started off pretty cagey, especially from New Mexico United, but once they got a foothold in the game, they made it count and got the goal that they deserve. Lou City very much still in this game though, and asking plenty questions of New Mexico United. It's going to be a really interesting second half.
That's your goal scorer, Harry Swartz, finding the back of the net in the 32nd minute, his 5th of this season. We'll step aside. You're watching the USL Championship right here on ESPN+.
Since 1966, BIOS has provided quality appliances, electronics, and mattresses to Albuquerque and New Mexico.
And from day one, we've done everything as a team. Our commitment to our team, our community, and innovation has allowed us to serve Albuquerque and our surrounding areas for more than 50 years. We are proud to partner with New Mexico United.
Because both of us believe in the values of loyalty, service, and togetherness.
Our longevity and growth is because we are united.
Somos unidos.
Flamenco is a language. Every step a verse, every movement a phrase. Born in Spain and expressed here in New Mexico.
Dime que sí, dime que no. Anda, dime primita de mi corazón.
The 2023 summer concert season is here at Sandia Resort and Casino. Join us this summer at Albuquerque's best concert venue for a season to remember. June 23rd, Ludacris. July 20th, Old Dominion. July 28th, Buddy Guy and Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Tickets available now at sandiacasino.com or the box office. The 2023 summer concert season at Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary.
Part desert, part mountain, part river. Albuquerque offers outdoor exhilaration you can't find anywhere else. Spend the perfect day hiking, biking, or even hot air ballooning. All within minutes of a vibrant city. Whether you're exploring hundreds of miles of trails or hundreds of years of history, Albuquerque will take your breath away. Start planning your Albuquerque adventure at visitabq.org.
Halftime here at the Lab on Indigenous Peoples Night. New Mexico United on top of Louisville City FC 1-0. Halftime brought to you by Smith's, fresh for everyone. And Chris, we've got plenty to get into. Here's our halftime score brought to you by First Financial Credit Union. Let's have a look. Starting off first with a look at the standings coming into tonight. New Mexico United on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoff picture. As you see there, the top 8 teams make the playoffs. Level on games played with Monterey Bay, 4 points back.
Yeah, and there's still a chance, and it's the hope that kills you, right? Like Christmas. So you're saying there's a chance, and they're still in there with it. But again, starts tonight. So far, so good. First 45 minutes, but a huge 3 points if they can finish this job off tonight.
A look at the news and notes from around the league here. As Pittsburgh Riverhounds on track to secure the Players' Shield for the first time in club history. Other teams in the hunt: Charleston Battery, Tampa Bay Rowdies, and Sac Republic. Eastern Conference teams clinching playoff spots left and right. Riverhounds, Charleston, the Rowdies, 901, and Lou City all punching their tickets. Not that many teams have done so in the West. Just the top 2 so far, Chris: Sac Republic and San Antonio FC.
Yeah, and mentioned it during the broadcast, the West really is the Wild West. Still so many teams. It's not just New Mexico United looking to sneak in at the last minute. RGV and El Paso are on the hunt as well.
Let's have a look now at the schedule around the league. These games coming up is Las Vegas will be hosting Sac Republic. Then on the weekend, you see Hartford, or excuse me, that's the midweek, Hartford and RGV. San Diego Loyal taking on El Paso. Roots hosting Orange County. That is a big one, as New Mexico United fans will be watching that. Lou City hosting Hartford Athletic. And then New Mexico United hitting the road to take on Phoenix Rising next Saturday. Look at the scores now from around the league. As we mentioned earlier, New Mexico, that score actually backwards there, as Riverhounds were actually victorious in that match. RGV beating Indy 11-1-0. San Diego Loyal drawing 1-1 with Lights, and Miami picking up a clean sheet against Birmingham Legion, 2-0. Upcoming schedule for the Black and Yellow, as we mentioned, just 2 matches left on the road in the Valley, taking on Phoenix Rising at 38th in Washington next weekend. Then back here at the Lab in less than 2 weeks from tonight, as they close out the regular season against Memphis 901. Upcoming final schedule for Louisville City, as they're home twice. They'll be hosting Hartford Athletic, as we just showed you, and closing out the season at home against Tampa Bay Rowdies. On to the playoffs after that. Our look at the team of the week. You see McGuire getting the nod in goal. See Lewis there as one of the defenders. Davila in the midfield, and DaCosta, Rodrigo DaCosta, getting the nod as your eFootball Player of the Week. We'll step aside. We'll be back with more halftime. New Mexico leading Louisville City 1-0.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Halftime here at the Lab. Your score, New Mexico United 1, Louisville City FC 0. Your halftime score presented by First Financial Credit Union. And halftime continues here, and let's just keep it rolling with a look at our first half highlights brought to you from the guys over at Ferguson Law Firm. Chris, this one, only one goal, but plenty of action in this first half.
Yeah, it's been decent, and Lou City definitely started the half on top there, and that was probably one of the better chances, but it just kind of didn't really create anything clear-cut. And we said during it as well, that wasn't Portuland's probably his most artistic assist he's ever had in his life, and Harry Schwartz, it's probably not the best goal he's ever scored. But New Mexico United absolutely will not care. Just bundled into his path, and you can see there Jimenez, unfortunate with the deflection. That just takes it past the keeper, who can't do anything about it.
5th goal of the season there for Harry Schwartz, and then Gonzalez thought he had an equalizer, but a big-time save there from the loanee, Andrew Thomas.
Yeah, great save, and you can see he just opens up his body trying to pass it into that far corner there, and Thomas reads it all the way in. You gotta say Thomas has been relatively comfortable tonight.
Look now at the first half stats. As you see, both teams, even on shots, Louisville City have the edge when it comes to shots on target. New Mexico holding the edge in possession. What do these numbers tell you here, Chris?
Most of the game's being played in that middle third. There's really not a whole lot of goal-mouth action. You can see from the highlights there wasn't a whole lot. I mean, it's been a decent game. It's been a bit of a chess match, though. And yeah, really that middle third, that midfield battle is where it's been played, and New Mexico United maybe just edging it a little bit, but not by much. Lou City very much in this game.
Lou City very much in this one as they look to pull off a second consecutive road comeback in the second half. We'll go ahead and step aside as the black and yellow on top here at the break, 1-0. We'll be back on the other side of this with the second half.
National Roofing, serving New Mexico for over 45 years. From complete re-roofs to our 24/7 service department, let us help protect and extend the life of your roof today. We work with you every step of the way to solve your roofing needs quickly and professionally. Our team of roofers are always on top of it, bringing high-quality commercial roofing to New Mexico homeowners. National Roofing, local company, national name. Call 505-883-3000 or go to nationalroofing.com to schedule a roof walk today.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive.
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
The C&M beverage program is split into actually 4 disciplines: beer production, wine production, distilled spirits production, and beverage management. This program is for anyone that has a passion for the beverage industry. We are running a 100% employment rate, and the goal is to prepare all of our students to enter into the workforce in their chosen field in the beverage production industry. If you're a fan of spirits, beer, wine, this is for you. So enroll now.
Back here at the Lab, New Mexico on top of Louisville City FC, 1-0. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst. And Chris, the sides making their ways out from their respective dressing rooms for this second half. And this one should be a lot of fun. We'll see if we have any halftime changes here. But putting your coaching hat on here, Chris, you were doing a little bit of that earlier. If you were in the Louisville City FC locker room and you're Danny Cruz, what's your message to the guys at the half?
Well, one thing, it does look like they're about to make a change. I only see 8 field players right now. Just trying to check that. So it looks like we might see a couple of changes from Lou City, so he's obviously not real happy. I think it's been comfortable for Lou City. Even though they're one down, it's been really comfortable. They've managed to keep New Mexico United really at arm's length. But as New Mexico United grew into the game, they really didn't have an answer. And while Lou City started the game, the first 20 minutes, let's say, they were on top. They weren't able to carve open New Mexico United and create any really clear-cut chances. There were some half chances, but no real clear-cut chances. And I'm sure that's what they've been talking about on ways of how to go about that in the second half.
That is your goal scorer, Harry Swartz. 32nd minute off the assist from Schneider Borgelin. 5th goal of the season for Swartz. 1st assist of the season for Borgelin. So if you're New Mexico, obviously you're excited with the 1-0 lead, but you know how good this Lou City side is, and you cannot get caught napping even for a moment.
Oh, and I'm sure that's it. I mean, like I say, while New Mexico United have got the noses in front, we said this during halftime as well, Lou City very much in this game. They've had plenty of the ball. There was times where they were able to play through New Mexico United lines at ease, up to a point in that middle third. And it really was, once they got to the final third, that's where they maybe ran out of some of ideas. But I'm sure that's the message is New Mexico United, now that they're in front and they've got something to hold on to it with both hands.
Yeah, New Mexico this season, when leading at the half, 6 wins, 2 draws, just 1 loss. So that bodes well. Flip side for Lou City, this is a situation that they have not really been in a whole lot. As just 8 times they found themselves trailing at the break this season. They've come back to win twice, which last weekend at Loudoun was one of them. No draws, 6 losses. So it looks like we do see a couple of changes here for the visitors. We're going to see Owen Dam and Elijah Winder enter in for Lou City. Owen Dam out of Kentucky. Winder as well, local product out of Louisville. Came up through the Louisville City Academy. We're underway here, second half. So just upon first glance, it looks like Jimenez and Gonzalez, the 2 substitutes for Lou City, exiting the match. They're making way for Dam and Winder. Those substitutions, of course, brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. There's Tosh. The sliding challenge in there from Suggs comes in at the right time. Overhit for Perez. No changes for the black and yellow coming out of half. Zemla. Zemla, last clean sheet a couple weekends ago against San Diego Loyal. Played at Marshall University. There's Harris. Falls to Ownby, lays it off, and shot attempt goes wide. Still Piccolo trying to wrap his foot around that one. USL celebrating Hispanic Latino heritage this month with stories, events, and more, bringing life to this special celebration across the league. Go to uslsoccer.com/Hispanic-heritage to learn more. So falls to right, and he'll let it go all the way back to Thomas. Swartz battling with Adams. Adams winning the aerial duel, but New Mexico eventually coming away with possession. Fiesta Ano free kick coming up here for New Mexico.
There's Adams and Swartz going at it again. It's already a couple of minutes into the second half and a few aerial duels already. Adams 1-1, Swartz has 1-1. Looks like there, and there Adams just got a little frustrated. Swartz really jumped early, made it really hard for Adams to get any kind of connection. He just gives the foul away.
Borgelin battling there with Tosh. Finds the feet of Ownby. Winder trying to play that through ball. Bailey goes down. Play on, says the official. Swartz looking to get down to the end line and put a cross in. And Swartz called for the foul.
That's an interesting one where, and unless it's been talked about, but a yellow card as well there for the midfielder, Lou City Mogul there. But the AR right on top of where that incident happened with Swartz there, and Adams, I believe it was, didn't bat an eyelid at it, but the referee called foul. So I think that's where the frustration of the crowd and the frustration surely of Harry Swartz as well comes from as well, where he managed to get his leg in between the legs of the defender and just won the ball. So little bang play, but it was a nasty tackle on Zico Bailey in the build up there. Good to see him back up on his feet and able to move around freely as well.
And Zico Bailey, we haven't seen a whole lot of him, obviously, with him. He's a late season arrival from San Antonio FC, but he is a lot of fun to watch when he has the ball at his feet in the midfield.
Just pace, and he loves running at people, and as a defender, that's absolutely terrifying. So yeah, he's been a great addition, and it'll be interesting to see him and Nicky Hernandez, another joined a little earlier than him, obviously, but another one from San Antonio, and he's made a great impression as well. And I'm sure New Mexico United fans are hoping that they'll return next year.
Here's Ownby. Finds Del Piccolo. Back to the New Zealand international, Kyle Adams. One cap for New Zealand. The 26-year-old. This is going to be a Bank of America corner kick. So it's Mogel heading over to the corner. 51st minute here at the Lab. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst. Miguel sends this one in, going back post. Harris is there. It's cleared away by Moreno. Great touch there from Perez to get by Borgelin and Moreno. Still Perez. Calls to Adams. Mogel now. Dam plays this forward. His fellow Louisville City Academy graduate, Elijah Winder. Winder does well to get by the defender there. And this vantage point, it was a little tough to see. It was called out.
Perez showing a little turn of pace there on the right-hand side, something that didn't really do a whole lot of in the first half. And he had Armando Moreno flying at him, Borgelin flying at him, Rivas flying at him, and just looked cool as a cucumber there, and just stepped inside. And like I say, a little turn of pace that be a little worrying for New Mexico United, because it looked like it was really going to make something happen. It didn't amount to much, but something to keep an eye on.
Rivas winning the header there. Borgelin is going to see yellow. And Borgelin has been shown red. And so Schneider Borgelin, he picked up a yellow card early on in the 16th minute. Then a second yellow card has been issued. And so New Mexico down to 10 men for the remainder of this match. And so a huge second yellow for Borgelin. And this could be exactly what Lou City needed.
And you can see that see what that is. He just gets a touch just before, and Borgelin has such long legs. You think he can get there. Del Piccolo there just gets a touch to the ball. You got to say, it probably was a yellow card. His foot was high, raked his studs down his shin, and New Mexico United now, you got to imagine that maybe they'll make a change, or they need some kind of outlet, whether that's Armando Moreno is the one guy who stays high and they just reshuffle from within. But that's a blow for New Mexico United so early in the second half as well.
It was red card, that yellow and red card brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. And suddenly, this 1-0 lead in this second half doesn't feel so secure there, Chris.
Yeah, and you can see straight away they've just settled into a 4-4-1. Moreno's the highest out of any of the New Mexico United players, and Sergio Rivas has just popped out on that left-hand side where Moreno was occupying the space out there. And it's going to be hard for New Mexico United, but they're going to have to find moments to try and keep the ball, and otherwise it's just going to be a white wave coming back at them.
Harris goes down. The challenge from Seymour. It's dead accurate there. So 1-0 here in the 55th minute. It's time to let you know that we are united in health. Join New Mexico United in our efforts to create a healthier and more vibrant New Mexico at unitedinhealthnm.com. Harris gets down. This one bouncing around inside the 6, eventually cleared out. Some nervy moments here for the black and yellow.
Yeah, it really has knocked them for 6, that New Mexico, and it looks like a few of the subs are really going through a pretty rigorous warm-up right now, because you can just see how deep New Mexico United have dropped since that red card. They've really camped inside their 18-yard box. I think Will Seymour was waiting for Thomas to come and collect that, but Thomas wanted nothing to do with it. And Armando Moreno, a thankless task, just trying to chase down 3-4 loose City defenders. Rivas came and joined in there and managed to win the ball back, and now it's up to New Mexico United. Can they keep it to give their defenders a little bit of a respite?
Here's Astorga. New Mexico, the huge task at hand here. Protecting a 1-goal lead here at home with just 10 men on the pitch against a very quality loose City side. Dam comes in, and it's going to be Swartz called for the foul.
Yeah, you can see where he was down on the ground there, and he just made himself a little bigger, little Superman tackle. Looks like maybe Swartz there, he's just stretching out his calf. Hopefully it's not, he's struggled with his fair share of injuries. Maybe just a little bit of cramp. Obviously got through a lot of work in the first half as well.
So this is Mogel standing over this one. Mogel and Dam. Owen Dam spent most of last season on loan with Northern Colorado Hailstorm in League One. Back post. Harris now, still bouncing around, and Thomas with the save of the night.
Yeah, it looks like it took a heavy collision there between Ryden and Thomas as well, but that was a really interesting setup. New Mexico United decided to have 2 players in the wall from a free kick that was a full 35 plus yards outside. And because of those 2 people in the wall, Lou City had men all over the place. So, and that first contact, we've talked about this in previous games, that first contact is so important. And at the back post there, Tosh just doing a great job putting it back in the mixer, and it's Adams in the end. You can see it's just a little awkward for Ryden to get out of the way of Thomas, but it looks like they're both okay.
Replays tonight brought to you by TLC Plumbing. TLC is the leader in New Mexico when it comes to plumbing, heating, and cooling home and business service needs. And so the anticipated change that you were calling for here, Chris, we see Nicky Hernandez on to replace Harry Swartz. Hernandez scoring in his previous home match here with New Mexico, his 3rd goal of the season. You
see Nicky Hernandez has come on with a bunch of instructions there for his teammates, and trying to organise what it is. It still looks like it's himself, Justin Portillo and Zico Bailey. Zico Bailey maybe just moving a little bit wider, so maybe it's just a centre midfield pairing there of Portillo and Hernandez, Rivas on the left, and just some fresh legs in the middle of the park there. And Moreno is going to be that lone striker up top, trying to make the ball stick and allow New Mexico United to gain some territory.
Bailey was making the run forward, headed away by Kyle Adams. Ownby making the run, and now you're going to see a card issued to Justin Portillo. Portillo now on a caution.
Yeah, you just say it was his first touch, just got away from him a little bit, and he saw Ownby just pounced on it so quickly as well. And he had to go in for the tackle because Ownby was away. So you knew exactly what he was doing. You say he didn't even touch the ball, he let the ball run across his body, and that was pretty obvious, easy call for the referee to make there.
So, well, we've got a moment to tell you about eFootball. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. Free to play. Download now. Can't tell who that is that's down right now for Lou City. The training staff are on the field. It's Brian Ownby.
I think it is from that same tackle from Justin Portillo, and you can see where they're just checking just below his knee, and he's saying it's a contact injury. You could see the gestures he's making there, which is a good thing. You want it to be a contact injury rather than just stepping for, because then you worry about ligaments, etc., and just checking his knee. So hopefully he's okay to carry on there.
So the boys in purple looking to mount a comeback here against 10 men New Mexico United. Ownby on his own feet, so that's a good sign, although still looking a bit hobbled. Another look on this TLC replay.
Looks like it was his trailing foot, just as Justin Portillo feels like the tackle's over. Just catches him a little bit, and you can see Ownby grabs it immediately, feels it immediately. And you just saw just before we broke to the replay there, Justin Portillo checking on him, making sure he was good. And it's one of those that happens all the time, and I think it was just more awkward in the way that he fell, and they kind of had a tangle of legs.
Brian Ownby, he's been doing this for a long time. 287 professional appearances for a number of different teams. And some appearances for Houston Dynamo, MLS, spent time with the Dynamo Reserves, Richmond Kickers, spent a season with Riverhounds, made 5 appearances. He's been with Lou City since the 2017 season. Real playmaker for this Lou City side. Soon falls, here's Moreno. It's New Mexico looking for an insurance goal. Rivas comes out, and it's going to be out for a corner.
That was a big save there. It was a little bit awkward. You saw Moreno saw the opportunity to maybe pull the trigger. Gets a deflection, and it deflects into Sergio Rivas' path. And he gets there at exactly the same time as Zemler, and he just makes himself big. It was almost like a Peter Schmeichel save from back in the 90s for Manchester United. Just makes himself huge and puts it out of play for a corner kick.
Bank of America corner kick. It's Justin Portillo. 4 assists on the season for the New Orleans native. Portillo whips this one in. Right up by Tosh. Harris now has that taken off his feet by Kalen Ryden. Ryden looks to go back to Thomas. Thomas just has to come out and get that one away.
That was a great little interception by Ryden in the first place, just to nick the ball and He looked to play, and I think it took a bobble right before he hit it back to Thomas, so it was just a little under hit. Thomas had plenty of time. I think he made it look a little more interesting than maybe it really was with the slide, or maybe just lost his footing.
San Diego Loyal, Monterey Bay underway. If you're a New Mexico United fan, might be a little disappointed to hear, but Monterey Bay up 1-0. 20 minutes in, Maury Donor on the score sheet for the Crispin Kelp. And Astorga just kind of found himself in an offside position. So we're going to see another sub here for Lou City. The former El Paso Locomotive man, Dylan Maris, will enter the match. So he's going to come on to replace Paolo Del Piccolo. Dylan Maris, no stranger to facing New Mexico United. You know, Chris, we think back to the shortened COVID season where it seemed like New Mexico played switchbacks, El Paso Locomotive, and Real Monarchs seemingly 20 times that season.
Yes, every week it was, right? Yeah, that was a crazy time, but in the 11 obviously had a couple of former El Paso players as well, so it's been a couple of games in a row where New Mexico United been able to welcome in inverted commas some old foes back to the lab.
Dylan Maris spending the past 3 seasons at El Paso Locomotive, scoring 19 goals for the black and yellow rivals to the south. El Paso, if you're not up on your Southwest geography, for our folks watching back in Kentucky or on the East Coast, El Paso, about what, a 3.5 hour drive south of Albuquerque down I-25. Unless you drive like Chris Hurst here. Thomas has to get that one away. Here's Sharpie. Wes Sharpie out of Florida. Previously spent time with Memphis. There's Kyle Adams. Back to Sharpie. Cross from Wes Sharpie, too tall.
Yeah, you can just see New Mexico United just settling into their shape and really disciplined as well. They're two banks of 4 that they've got, and making it really difficult there for Lou City to do anything other than try and pop the ball wide and sling the ball in the box and hope for the best, which is testament to the work rate of New Mexico United off the ball here. No, really limiting them, trying not to let them get in behind and put crosses in from the byline. So far, so good for New Mexico United. Lou City just lacking something in the final third right now.
And that's why you make that sub, bring on a player like Dylan Maris. He was a second half sub last weekend at Rainy Segra Field. And after he came on, he changed the complexion of the match. Lou City going on to score twice in the final 16 minutes plus stoppage time, walking away with all 3 points. They look to do the same here tonight against a 10-man New Mexico United side. Schneider Borgelin sent off in the 53rd minute for a late challenge on Paolo Di Piccolo. Fernandez, he was looking to play Moreno through, eventually winning the throw-in.
But there's that discipline. New Mexico United just wait and it's almost like Lou City are having, it's so easy for them to move the ball and they're just getting a little impatient, so then they try and play through the lines, and then Nicky Hernandez just reads the ball carrier, able to pick it off, and immediately tries to spring Moreno, and you can see Coach Quill on the sideline applauding the intention of playing forward quickly after winning the ball.
So Fiesta Auto free kick here for Blue City.
There it is again. New Mexico United be absolutely delighted here. Lou City just going from side to side, and then eventually they just get sick of doing it and they just pump a ball forward, and they just haven't quite got the quality on that right now. And New Mexico United milking every second they can, and the referee pointing to his watch saying he's got the time and everything. But how many times have New Mexico United fans and the players and the staff seen people come into town here and with a 1-0 lead and try and just kill the game? And New Mexico United doing a great job of that right now.
Final is Memphis is beaten by Birmingham Legion. Now we're going to see a yellow card shown to Nicky Hernandez. 70th minute.
I feel like that one's a little more contentious though. Nicky Hernandez got a lot of the ball there, at least from our vantage point it looked that way. It was a very similar tackle in terms of desperation, like Justin Portillo, but you know, he wasn't high or anything like that. Be interested to see that one back. You can see yeah, he got a lot of the ball. It looks like it there, unless I'm just mistaken. And that's the argument he's making. So that's a tough one.
70th minute of this match brought to you by REDW, an Albuquerque-based CPA firm celebrating 70 years of keeping New Mexico moving forward. Ball goes in and it's played over everyone. So Bank of America corner kick here. Miguel Jr.
That was a big touch there by Kaelan Ryden. I think it was in the middle of the 6-yard box there. Lou City players just lining up at the back post, and he just flicked it out for another corner. Huge touch by the captain.
So Miguel Jr. will set up here another Bank of America corner kick. Lou City still on the hunt for an equalizer against 10 men New Mexico. Thomas rises up to grab it.
That's exactly what you want to see from your goalkeeper when up by 1 goal, down to 10 men, defenders doing everything they can. You want your goalkeeper to just command his 18-yard box, and he just does that like a goalkeeper way beyond his years right now, and gives your defenders just that little bit extra confidence as well.
So we'll restart here for Lou City. Adams connecting with Dam.
Still don't think Ownby's moving as freely as what he was in the first half. He still looks like he's maybe feeling that injury that he picked up in the Portillo tackle earlier on. He's definitely not full flight.
Throw in here for Lou City. Be battling with Suggs there. And so we knew it was going to be a big crowd here tonight, and Chris, official numbers are in. 11,102 fans here on hand at the lab tonight, taking this one in between New Mexico United and Louisville City FC, doing battle here in the 505 for the first time.
That's great, and obviously one of, I don't know if historic's the right word, but a club as big as Lou City, who.
Here's Hernandez. He's through on goal. Nicky Hernandez has added on a second. And for Hernandez, that's his 4th goal of the season and a huge, huge insurance goal for the black and yellow.
I don't know if he's going to do a dance with his mask on as well. There it is. But what a massive, massive goal that could be for New Mexico United. And he just looked so calm. It was such a big moment. And he just opened his body up and almost just passed it into the far corner. Past Zemler, who could do very little about it. Great finish. And again, what a huge goal that could turn out to be.
That goal brought to you by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. And for Hernandez, he's only been here for 3 months, Chris, but quickly becoming a fan favorite. And he's now scored in back-to-back home matches for the black and yellow.
And you can just see there, kind of creates the chance for himself, and just his pace. And there he just opens it, he runs around the ball and just opens his body up. After that touch there, he runs around it to get it on his right foot. And there just passes it around the keeper. What a great finish at full tilt as well. Full pace, just being able to do that. And there's his token dance.
So now the official coming over to have a word with the New Mexico technical area.
I think, did he give Nicky Hernandez a second yellow card for putting the mask on?
So waiting to see exactly what's going on here, but a passionate discussion to say the least.
It looks like Hernandez is walking off the pitch. I think he's been sent off.
And so you could kind of see the official there describing And so it looks like you're correct, Chris. A second yellow card has been shown to Nicky Hernandez. So following the goal, Hernandez has been sent off for putting on the mask for the goal celebration. As you get a look there of what it was exactly. And there was the second yellow and then the subsequent red shown right after. And so, as we said earlier, things just got a little bit more interesting. New Mexico down to 9 men, holding a 2-goal lead. Less than 15 minutes to go plus stoppage.
I feel bad for the referee because I think by the letter of the law, I think he's probably got it absolutely spot on.
Right.
But end of the day, this is a spectator sport. When you score a big goal like that, you want your players to be able to celebrate with the fans. That's a huge call, and you could see how passionate, like you said, the coaching staff and everyone was, but I unfortunately think it was actually probably the right decision. But what a bizarre turn of events. I don't think, I've never seen anything like that.
I have to completely agree, and while we're here, New Mexico have already had 2 players sent off tonight, and so Portillo has been subbed off. He was on a yellow card. He picked one up in the 59th minute. That's going to see Sam Hamilton on for the black and yellow. Hamilton, one of 4 players on this roster since day 1. The other 3, Austin Yearwood, Daniel Bruce, who have yet to play tonight, and Josh Suggs. And so 2 red cards, 2 goals. Neither of the goal scorers left on the pitch for New Mexico.
I'm just trying to work out what, I guess it's just a 4-5, and I mean, this is just going to be absolutely torture for New Mexico United and for the fans, because this is just going to be Lou City just coming at them, and now it's a big question. And so far tonight, Lou City have not had the quality, and they've only got themselves to blame. They have not had the quality in the final third. You got to imagine they are going to create a lot of chances in this final. I mean, it's, what, 12 minutes there, but there's going to be a bunch of injury time, you imagine. So we're probably looking at 15, 16, 17 minutes left. This is going to be a long time if you're New Mexico United fan, coach, player. It's going to be a long end to the game here.
The 21-year-old Ray Serrano has been subbed on as well. Out of Moses Lake, Washington. Previously played for Tacoma Defiance. He actually became Seattle Sounders' youngest academy player to ever sign a professional deal. Signed as a 15-year-old back in February of 2018. So Serrano coming in for some offensive reinforcements. New Mexico will certainly take their time here. Down to 9 men, up 2 goals here on Lou City. It's Moreno and Suggs over this one. Moreno looks like he's going to leave this alone. Suggs goes back post. Kalen Ryden all by himself, and it's tapped home. Except the offside flag goes up. It's the AR here on the near side. Goal does not stand, and so these referees, I'll tell you, Chris, obviously to the home crowd, not doing themselves any favors, but called a pretty good game here tonight.
Yeah, you've got to hand it to them, and difficult. I mean, they obviously don't want to. I don't think we're going to see a very good angle of this, but you can see Kalen Ryden. I think Sam Hamilton was offside, and maybe because he affected Ownby's ability to challenge the ball, I think maybe that's why it was called. You can just see there's just a little collision between Sam Hamilton and Ownby, just right there. I don't think Kalen Ryden was offside. And you could see immediately he was arguing that point. I mean, obviously, he would obviously argue that point.
Moreno now as New Mexico looking for a third. Here's Moreno. He's got support on either side. Still Moreno has it blocked. Falls to Bailey. A wall of white shirts surrounding Zico Bailey in the 18. And New Mexico got bodies back. And suddenly, Chris, here in the 81st minute, a track meet has erupted. Perez. The savvy veteran defending there from Josh Suggs. Moreno able to poke that one away, not very far. It goes to Tosh. Perez now. Perez goes down. And Suggs wins the free kick.
Looks like Greg Hurst is going to make an appearance here for New Mexico United.
So Hurst will be on to replace Armando Moreno. So it looks like Eric Quill sees Moreno just out of gas, and obviously no surprise. What a shift from the El Salvadorian.
You can see there Hurst just had a little piece of paper there to try and explain what the plan is. He just shoved it down his sock, I think. Doesn't want to get a yellow card for that, right? But he just showed it to Rivas. It doesn't look like Rivas has done much different from what he was doing anyway, but I mean, Greg Hurst, he's going to be literally asked to run for 12, 15 minutes here, run himself into the ground, try and challenge and occupy all 4 defenders for Lou City, and then as soon as New Mexico United lose the ball, he's going to be asked to drop in and play like a centre mid. It's going to be a lot of miles. I'll be surprised if he's doing the post-game running as well.
Serrano trying to get by Suggs.
And that will drive the Lou City staff absolutely insane. 2 men up and not able to connect that pass there. It's just been a very, very sloppy evening for those guys.
2 red cards issued to New Mexico in this second half. Both second yellows. Schneider Borgelin shown the door in the 53rd minute following a late challenge. Then Nicky Hernandez with a heroic goal, and then put on a mask for his celebration, and then was shown the door moments later. There's Ownby. Going to link up with Dam. Ownby instead plays this into the box. It's headed away by Hamilton. Big interception there from Kalen Ryden. He'll play that one away.
And Kalen Ryden's been watching the Rugby World Cup there, just putting the ball into touch as far down the field as possible. And it's not often you see goalkeepers take throw-ins either.
Maris gets it back. Maris whips this into the box. Headed away once again. It was Hamilton. Goes into Winder. Bank of America corner kick coming up. Taken quickly. Miguel Jr. Back to Perez. Suggs out there defending 1-on-2. Ball headed away by Hurst. Fans can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern. This one bouncing around in the box and it's out. It's going to be a goal kick here for New Mexico. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SXM app.
I tell you what, that was a chance for Perez there. Just found him at the back post. Obviously, Lou City going to have men over at some point, and I think it was Kalen Ryden just caught underneath the flight of the ball and just couldn't quite settle it, rushed his shot, and I'm sure Thomas was really happy to see that float over the crossbar.
86th minute here at the Lab. Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst. And this one has been, I think to use one word, interesting.
I was curious which word you were going to choose.
There's Dam. Dam looking back post and just overhits it.
That's the story of the game for Lou City right there. All the Lou City forwards, Ownby, Harris, everyone's making a run to the front post and he just floats a ball to the back post and just out of play. It's just, again, there's still plenty of time left in this game, especially with New Mexico United playing with only 9 men, but just the quality for Lou City, it's been really, really disappointing tonight.
And to be fair, New Mexico, they've been down a man since the 54th minute. And sure, there's the numerical advantage, but really, it hasn't really seemed like Lou City has been up 2 men.
Yeah, other than obviously territorial,
right.
It's all there, right? But still, New Mexico United, you've got to say, I mean, the third goal was a questionable offside call with 9 men.
The ball headed away there. It's Rivas. And this is a throw in for New Mexico. Arturo Astorga coming through the U23 pipeline, making his first start here tonight at the Lab. For Astorga, he has seen some action here this season at the Lab. It wasn't during league play. It was in summer. It was against this club. You might know them, Chris, called Sunderland.
I'm not sure I've heard of them.
What did Sunderland do this weekend?
I mean, if we have to talk about it, then yeah. I mean, just a 3-0 win.
Train's rolling, right?
The train's rolling. And, it's got to be said, a lot less exciting than this, a lot less incident. It was 3 goals in the first half hour, then nothing for the rest of the game.
Sunderland, of course, coming over, doing a quick tour of the USA, taking on San Antonio FC, New Mexico United. Was it North Carolina FC?
That's correct,
the
yeah.
The third. Tony Mowbray's men off to a flying start. Out there is Eric Quill's men looking to hang on here to this 2-goal lead. Tosh connects with Perez. Perez plays this one in. It's headed away only as far as Maris, and he sends that one over into the bullpen. Andrew Thomas here with New Mexico, looking for the clean sheet here at the lab. Coming into this game, 12 saves, conceded 6 goals, save percentage of 66.7%. Into the 90th minute here at the lab. 2-goal lead, 2 men down for the home side.
Tell you what, if Thomas does pick up his second clean sheet of the season here, I think he'll remember this one for a long time.
So we're hearing there's going to be 5 minutes of New Mexico Pinon coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion.
The referee just pointing Thomas in exactly the right spot where he should be going, and Thomas deciding to go all the way, which everyone knows is going to happen. Until the referee gives him a yellow card, he's going to do it, and no one can blame him. End of the day, the time wasting is not the issue for Lou City tonight. That pass is, again, it's another example of why they've just been so disappointing tonight. Going forward, they've just really not been able to lay a finger on New Mexico United.
This, Greg Hurst looked to get forward. He was certainly pulled back there by Sharpie, and Hurst asking for the call. He's going to get the throw in. Great work there by Greg Hurst.
And I agree with you. I think there was a little pullback by the defender, was it Sharpie, you said, and you know, and Greg Hurst was probably a little too honest. He could have maybe fallen over and won a free kick nice and high up the field, but just there's just a little pull back. You see, he was probably going to get there ahead of the goalkeeper as well if that hadn't happened.
So throw in here for the black and yellow. Here's Hurst, the Scotsman. Greg Hurst guarding the inbounds pass. Basketball season hasn't quite started yet, but Greg Hurst already in mid-season form.
I tell you can see he had some quick feet in there as well, Hurst, where he managed to keep the ball in. It's every second counts for New Mexico United right now.
Here's Tosh. 90 seconds into 5 minutes of added time. Here's Maris, former El Paso man, going back post. And that over everyone's head.
Trying to think when was the last shot on target for Lou City that Thomas had to make a save on?
Yeah, it looks like it's been quite a while here, just from what we can see. For Lou City, from what I can tell, it looks like the 57th minute was the last time Lou City had a shot on target. It was Kyle Adams.
So that was when New Mexico United were down to
9 men.
1 man.
Excuse me, 10 men. I was going to say they were down 1 man.
Yeah. So since 9 men, they really have. They've been super organised, New Mexico United. Like, credit to them, that bank of 4 and bank of 5. And they really have managed to keep Lou City at arm's length.
Well, and let's just put it into perspective. Since the last time Lou City had a shot on target, Nicky Hernandez was subbed on, got a yellow card, scored a goal, got another yellow card, and was sent off. And that happened 15 minutes ago. Here's Tosh. Has a go from long range, and that was rising the entire way. So Andrew Thomas taking his time here, 3 minutes, the added 5 gone by. So as we look forward here for both sides, New Mexico with a trip out to the Valley where they're going to be taking on Phoenix Rising next weekend. Lou City could be onto something here. Here's Ownby. Diving Andrew Thomas doesn't have to get a finger on it. It's going to be out for a goal kick. As I was saying, New Mexico traveling out to Phoenix. Lou City headed back home to Lynn Family Stadium where they're going to close out the season with back-to-back home matches as they'll be taking on Hartford Athletic next weekend. As Lou City drew up in Hartford. It was a 0-0 draw last time around between those two, so they'll be looking to pick up 3 big points. And for New Mexico, well, Chris, able to hold on here as it looks like they'll be able to do so. Keep an eye on that San Diego Loyal Monterey Bay game. San Diego Loyal have come back and have scored twice. They now hold a 2-1 lead over Monterey Bay at the half. And so if this result holds here, that result holds in the San Diego Monterey Bay match, then New Mexico will be just 1 point out of the playoff positions. There's Sharpie. Maris. Seymour, quick feet to rise up and send that header away. Not much time left in this one now. Lou City could be on their final attack. Here's Dam. Plays it, tried to play it in, and it's going to be a goal kick here for Andrew Thomas. And the 11,000 in attendance on their feet here at the Lab. A massive 3 points for the black and yellow.
I'm just laughing. I swear Thomas has wasted 8 minutes by himself tonight. I don't, how he's got out of here without a yellow card is actually, it's kind of funny.
And that is the full-time whistle here at the Lab. New Mexico victorious over Louisville City, 2-0 on the score sheet. It was Harry Swartz, 32nd minute. Nicky Hernandez adding the insurance goal in the second half in the 74th minute. Chris, your thoughts?
I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about that. That was the most bizarre second half of soccer I think I've ever seen. The highs, the lows, and everything in between. But end of the day, for New Mexico United, 3 points.
That is your man of the match, Sergio Rivas. 4 shots, 5 duels won, 3 aerial duels won. Man of the match brought to you by Pepsi. Your play of the match, Harry Swartz, opening up the action, scoring in the 32nd minute, his 5th goal of the season. And for Harry Swartz, he's a fan favorite here. That's his 11th goal in black and yellow. And Andrew Thomas with the save of the match, brought to you by Invigorate Roofing, on loan from Seattle Sounders. He had multiple saves here tonight. Big clean sheet for the man between the sticks.
Yeah, huge. And like I said during the broadcast there, I think you'll remember this one for a long time with how much, well, there wasn't a whole lot to do when they went down to 9 men. It was just such bizarre circumstances. Again, you'll remember this one.
New Mexico victorious over Louisville City FC, 2-0. Final score brought to you by Duke City Cares, your medical family. We'll step aside. We'll be back to wrap this one up on the other side of this.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Welcome back to the lab here, ladies and gentlemen. New Mexico United hosted Louisville City FC here for the first time tonight. Victorious 2-0. Harry Swartz and Nicky Hernandez, your goal scorers. Your final score brought to you by Duke City Cares, your medical family. Chris, plenty of action in this one. Let's have a look now at the full-time highlights brought to you by the guys over at Ferguson Law Firm. And it was Harry Swartz getting the party started 32 minutes in, his 5th goal of the season.
Yeah, Borgelin obviously had an interesting night tonight there and just kind of bundled the ball into the path of Harry Swartz. And Harry Swartz, first time shot, and the deflection is what takes it past Jimenez there. Just the deflection takes it into the ground, and that takes it past the despairing Zemler. Can't do anything about it.
And then this, Nicky Hernandez comes in as a second half sub, tacks on his 2nd goal in as many home matches, and then goes on to celebrate, puts a mask on, and then he's shown a red card.
Yeah, and it's just that little ball by Moreno into his path, and Hernandez's first touch beats like 2 defenders for Lou City. And then you see that last touch there, he just curves his run and opens his body up and just passes it into the back of the net. And there you can see he always has a celebration, he always has a dance with the fans. Like, that's why he's such a favourite with the fans. But you can't do that. You can't put the mask on. It's the same as you were saying in the commercial break. It's the same as taking your shirt off. So he got his 2nd yellow card in bizarre circumstances. New Mexico United down to 9 men.
So down to 9 men. This is a look at our full-time stats brought to you by Duke City Cares. And you can sort of tell possession swaying in favor of Louisville City in that second half. They finish with the lion's share of the possession at 55%. New Mexico able to pull even on shots on target. And Lou City, really couldn't get anything going late in that second half, despite the 1- and 2-man advantages.
100%. I mean, the word that comes to mind is toothless, which maybe sounds a little harsh, but they really were. Once New Mexico United went down to 9 men, I can't remember Thomas having to pull off any kind of world-class saves, which you would expect when you're down by 2 guys.
Up next for the black and yellow, a trip out to the Valley where they're going to take on Phoenix Rising at 38th in Washington. Then the regular season finale right here at the Lab. Friday, October 13th, 7 p.m. against Memphis 901. Get on to SeatGeek. Get your tickets if you haven't yet. And speaking of SeatGeek and tickets, season tickets for 2024 live now. Make sure to hop on, get those, be part of all the magic here in 2024. That's going to do it for everybody here tonight. Part of our broadcast for our director, Gary Williams, for Chris Hurst on color. My name's Tyler Ortega. Thank you for watching.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.